Quick disclaimer, this routine is not for an average person. If you're tired of scrolling on social media, being subhuman, playing video games, and then at 3 a.m. when you can't distract yourself anymore and you need to enter the bathroom, thoughts just come in your head like, bro, what am I doing in my life? This was such an unproductive day, I never want to repeat this day again. But then guess what you do? Because you have no timetable to follow. After shaving my head after Umrah and like shedding my old identity, becoming a whole new person, I was so motivated. I was gonna return back home, be so productive, upload consistently on YouTube, do my schoolwork, become closer to Allah, and do everything you could ever imagine. And then guess what? I returned back, and the day I returned at 3 a.m., I'm still awake watching YouTube videos. I changed my identity, but I didn't change my habit. Now, watching this video alone might not work because you need to change your identity, which was the previous video. So you need both parts of this equation to actually make a change in your life. Bro, I remember when my phone is out of charge and I'm done playing video games, and I want to enter the bathroom and I can't take my phone with me because it's dead. I would either just wait for it to charge or take my whole laptop with me. That's how much I wanted to escape these thoughts. If you relate, do you want to continue living like this? I didn't, and I changed, and I have a free coaching call if you want, because I want to help you. I won't sell you anything. You don't want to continue life like this, like I was, because we've barely got any time in our youth, and these software companies in Silicon Valley are stealing all of our youth, making social media as addictive as possible. And we just let that. The Prophet ﷺ said, the son of Adam will not be dismissed from before his Lord on the day of resurrection until he has been questioned about 5 things: his life and how he spent it, his youth and how he used it. You're in your youth right now, and how are you using it? Scholars say the youth ends at the age of 32, which is honestly kind of a lot. But that doesn't excuse you to continue wasting your time. How are you using your youth after spending all of those hours on social media? Do you really think you deserve paradise and eternal happiness? Waste all of your day and then you think you deserve paradise. Do you think you will be admitted into paradise without being tested like those before you? They were afflicted with suffering and adversity and were so violently shaken. Even the messenger and the believers with him cried out, when will Allah's help come? Indeed, Allah's help is always near. So this is actually some serious stuff. This could be the reason that you and I do not enter Jannah, because of how we spend our youth, because of our phones, video games. This is more than just a 30-day routine. This is a stepping stone towards Allah and further away from the life you currently have. You just need to put your trust in it and fully commit. The list I'm gonna give you is from a podcast which I watched. It's in Arabic. I recommend it to you. What makes you think you'll grow old, have white hair, and then you'll become religious? I heard this from one of my friends. We were talking about, do you wake up for Fajr? That's a whole different conversation. Do you wake up for... bro, you should, you know? Okay, anyway, he's like, yeah, my parents do, because you become more religious as you grow up. Who told you you're gonna grow up? Allah said in the Quran, and donate from what we have provided for you before death comes to one of you. And you cry, my Lord, if only you delayed me for a short while, I would give in charity and be one of the righteous. But Allah never delays a soul when its appointed time comes, and Allah is all aware of what you do. You have so much potential. You know you can do more. You know you can start that dream business you've dreamt of. You know you can get the grades that you want if you just put in the effort. You know you can start working towards khushu'. You know you can memorize the entire last chapter of the Quran in just a month. But instead you choose to waste your time. You study all day and it was just 12 hours of unproductive work, which was just you checking your phone every 5 minutes. Honestly, you probably could have done the same amount of work in just 2 hours, but then you say that's enough and you're just gonna rest and go sleep and have 2 hours of winding down watching YouTube videos. It's embarrassing how little we do in our day, honestly. Alright, so part 1 is the morning routine. So for the morning routine, step 1 is to say Alhamdulillah alladhi ahyana ba'da ma amatana wa ilayhi nushur, right after you wake up. And the morning Adhkaar. like a link below a video from Mufti Mink of him reciting these Adhkaar, and you could just repeat with him. You can do it on the go, you don't have to sit for it. Step 2 is that you're gonna get like a notebook or a piece of paper and put it right beside your bed, and the pen obviously. Write what you're grateful for. Non-Muslims call this gratitude journaling, and it has been scientifically proven that it does make you happier, more than all materialistic things and buying your dream car or whatever. And Allah tells us this, and for some reason we just, we don't take action on it. In the Quran, Allah tells us, if you are grateful, I will certainly give you more. But if you are ungrateful, surely my punishment is severe. So not only does Allah make this thing make us happier, like the science proves it does, but He also tells you He will grant you more of His favor when you're thankful. The thing you're grateful for doesn't have to be positive. Bro, you can literally be grateful for your water bottle. Anything. You can be grateful for that accident that happened. Because when you're grateful to the bad things that happen in your life, it just shows that you trust Allah's plan more. I hope you can continue these 2 very simple steps, which literally take just like 20 minutes max, even after Ramadan. So number 3, eat the frog. This is only if you have like school or work. Now, if you had to eat a live frog as a part of your dinner, would you do it before the rest of your dinner or after? Probably before, right? Because you want to remove that bad taste from your mouth. So why don't you do that frog task, that hard task, early in your day? And then the rest of your day is just gonna be easy, because you already completed the hardest task. Now compare this to your normal day, where you've got a task by 8 p.m. and then you're awake by like 12 p.m. on the weekend, and then you're just constantly stressing out about that task while eating lunch, and then at 7 p.m. you're printing the papers, quickly scanning them, submitting them to Google Classroom. Like, bro, why stress yourself out? Like, I do this way too often. I'm doing it right now. Now the habits which you're gonna do daily. Number 1, the most basic one, which you should have done outside of Ramadan: pray all your prayers in the masjid. Number 2, you're gonna be reading 4 pages of Quran after every prayer. Now don't be all or nothing, so if you miss 1 page, it's fine. Number 3 is that you're gonna pray tahajjud with the same chapter you read. If you don't know how to, I'll link like how to pray tahajjud guide. So number 4 is that you're gonna be watching videos on what each chapter of the Quran means. You're just gonna understand what the general meaning of each chapter is. I'll link down below one series which is in English and another which is in Arabic. I'm gonna skim over number 5 really quickly because I mentioned it in the last video. So you're gonna make, you choose 5 minutes or 30 minutes of dua. Now the 2 most accepted times are right before Fajr and right before Maghrib. Obviously if you choose 30 minutes you can split it 15 minutes before Maghrib and 15 minutes before Fajr. Number 6 is to make a timetable. It's like the one in school. You're gonna divide the times. First of all, obviously you're gonna put the prayers, and then put everything we said on the list, and then if you've got school or you've got homework or tuition and stuff like that, and then lunch obviously, and that's it. Like, if you follow it for just 30% of your day, it's probably way more productive than your average day right now. Here's an example of one I made for myself without having school. Number 7 is exercise. Exercise improves your mental health. It's just a fact, right? But Quran improves your mental health even more. So you're not gonna exercise in this month at all. You could just slip in some push-ups, and you're gonna exercise by praying Taraweeh anyway. Just slip in push-ups while your mom is preparing iftar. But help her as well. I forgot to add this. You can see, I just returned back from Taraweeh. But it's very important. Number 8 is that you're gonna consume only Islamic content. If you consume something more than the lecture we talked about, then it must be just Islamic content, either podcasts or lectures, and preferably something related to the Quran, right? Like tafsir or honestly, just you shouldn't consume much more content than the lecture, because non-Islamic content, like educational content related to business or studying or productivity or whatever, it just moves that desire in you to chase the dunya more. It's natural. When you get exposed to more dunya, you just want to chase more dunya, and your thoughts become just about productivity and studying and school and stuff. We want your thoughts to be about Jannah, Hellfire, Quran. Honestly, this is very important. You might see this as the least important step, but honestly, man, it's so important. I experimented with myself. When I consume non-Islamic self-improvement content, educational content, I just feel more distant from Allah. Remember that verse we said? Actually, just listen to it. I know you're gonna click off this way or skip it. Train your attention span.
وأنفقوا مما رزقناكم من قبل أن يأتي أحدكم الموت فيقول رب لولا أخرتني إلى أجل قريب فأصدق وأكن من الصالحين ولن يؤخر الله نفسا إذا جاء أجلها والله خبير بما تعملون.
The point is, you're gonna do charity. Now, I use the excuse of like, when I grow old, when like I'm out of my parents' house, I'll do charity. But then, how do I know I'm not gonna die before that? And in Islam, you're already considered an adult. Like, you get judged, like you get sins, you get hasanat. If you're on the day of judgment in front of Allah, will you say the excuse that I was living in my parents' home? Like, it doesn't make sense, right? Do as little amount as you can. No, not as little as you can. Do charity even if it's a little amount. Part 4 is that you're gonna track your habits. So you're gonna write down everything we mentioned, and once you complete them, just tick the box. Something like this. I'm not perfect, bro. Look at how many X's I have. Like, nothing. That's not a good thing. Listen, I'm just telling you, you're gonna fail at some point. Hopefully not. It's inevitable. Now, this point relates to my previous video, where I told you you're gonna change your identity to have better habits. So if you change your identity, you're simply just gonna get rid of those bad habits. So you're not gonna progressive deload, like listen to one song instead of 30. This Ramadan, you're just going to quit cold turkey. The final thing is that you should do the things I told you even if you don't feel like it. It's very easy. Good luck for Tahajjud, bro. It's gonna be the hardest part.